What's up, y'all? So I just finished my working out. It's late night vibes. Early this morning, I was able to, do what I had to do. You feel me? Run some errands, do what I got to do. Get some editing done as well. I was able to go to Cambridge, and I'll show you guys a picture. I was able to kind of just meet some people, but sit down and kind of do what I got to do in regards to my editing. And it was a great interaction. I had a good day, and then I ended up coming back home, and I threw some food on the grill. I was able to throw that salmon, which I know about throwing the salmon on the grill. You feel me? And it was good. Everything came out. Had a good time sitting in the sun. Today was like 76, but it felt like 80 something. Like it was really hot on the back end. But it was a smooth day. You know what I mean? Epsom salt with my feet in the water, like really just enjoying my day. But in regards to just getting into where I'm at right now, I just really want to express to you guys about being optimistic in your day. Try your best to try something new. You feel me? Go a different route if you used to go in the same route. You know what I mean? But on the back end, have structure in your day. You want to be able to have, like real structure in your day. I remember I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was kind of expressing to them, based on their situation, I'm not going to get too much into detail because everybody's situation is catered for their situation, dig? But on the back end, it's just like some people out here really don't have any structure in their day, and it plays into their behavior. It plays into boredom. It plays into, like a lot of things in disparity. So I really want us to understand, when we have structure into our day, you feel me? We get things done. We feel productive. We don't feel, incapable. We don't feel inadequate. We don't feel like a loser, whatever, you know what I mean? But we don't have these negative feelings and these things. So I really want us to understand that, like, really understand your schedule. Understand like what do you got going on. Understand your purpose. You feel me? What do you lacking? What can you improve on? You feel me? Like really understand these things. That's why I always emphasize for critical thinking. We got to start using our brains and assessing and reassessing what we're doing. In addition to who we're around, right? The environment and all the other factors as well, right? So I think these things are really important. But on the back end, like I said, I was able to kind of have some self-care for myself. But on the back end, for those out there that are employed, salute to you. You're working, you're thriving in the society that we're in right now. As we know, you feel me? It's a tough time. People out here struggling. But it's like, I got my degree on the back end, and it's just, I've been looking for a job. But I really want people to understand as well, and just kind of understand where my attitude is right now, is that don't beat yourself up. Do not beat yourself up. We're in times right now where it's easy to kind of get lost into the sauce and kind of, sabotage or ruminate over just, you're not doing good enough. You feel me? You see other people thriving, etc. Just really understand that. Look at your situation, and I'm going to speak on myself so you guys can kind of get some criteria. I was able to do something that, on a humble note, like don't get it twisted, I was able to really, but I put the work in. Don't get this twisted, I was able to really sit here, get disciplined, go to class, apply myself, get these credits done, really be dedicated to the process. And it was not easy. Also to navigating a dysfunctional family, but I made it happen, right? So I got my end goal, 5/21/2026. I graduated with my master's in mental health counseling, and I went through each stage from high school all the way to the community college, the 4 year, and then, getting the master's, right? But on the back end too, it's like, why am I in a position right now where I'm not working? What's going on? You know what I mean? What's going on? And for those that know, let's just get to it, because you know how I am. I'm a thorough man, you feel me? There's a lot of things that play into what's going on right now. We have, AI, right? We have racial discrimination, right? We have just a lot of things. Corporations downsizing because they cheat, you feel me? So there's a lot of things that are going on, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that are going on. And if you want to just kind of, feel me, like add some things in the comments to kind of give some people some different insights so you're able to kind of, like I said, develop more on this conversation, go ahead, you know what I mean? But on the back end, it's just, I really want us to kind of develop some type of insight in regards to your circumstances. Because a lot of us out here are pouring ourselves into these jobs, doing the best that we can. We're going above and beyond, right? I did an internship, you feel me? I really put the hours in, you know what I mean? And it's just, we're in situations that are just, depriving us of leveling up or getting our needs met, right? So it's just survival, survival. But like I said, the biggest thing I want us to have is a positive mindset and peace of what? Peace of mind. Don't let anybody infiltrate your mindset. Know the work that you put in. Know every day, you feel me? Remember that backpack every day that you was holding, the days when you was broken and you still was pushing through, the resilience. Like really remind yourself. And that's why I always think it's important to really have positive self-talk, right? Look at yourself. You feel me? You can look at yourself in the eyes and really know like, yo, I did the best that I can and I was really there. I didn't cheat myself. I didn't know. I was consistent and I had the effort. I was there. I was present. You know what I mean? Like really reassess these things. That's why journaling is important, right? Solitude, sitting down with yourself and really getting away from distractions, right? Is going to help you out in this process. Knowing that you are enough, knowing that you're magnificent, amazing, knowing that you have the capabilities, and understand too, things will get better soon. Things will get better soon. And I'll shout out to the people, like I said, that's coming from dysfunctional situations and backgrounds and families, etc. Right? Is that you feel me? We went through so much, right? We went through so much, and I think that we're just so prone to going through at that adversity. But understand, like I said, is that things will get better soon. But we have to, like I said, keep ourselves in a positive light. You got to keep making sure you're doing things that are going to make you happy. Making sure, like we talked about in the beginning, making sure that you have structure in your day. Making sure that you're keeping your vibration where it's supposed to be. No one's going to pour into you or tell you these things. You feel me? That's why you have to seek these things, right? And that's why you also have to seek support. A part of my process as well, I'll be vulnerable about that. I push this all the time, is counseling. Why would I be into this field you feel me, if I wouldn't? Come on, dog. We got to seek the support. Some of us have a lot on our plate. Some of us are in environments, like I said, that other people too have limited ability to assist because they're going through their own stress. Come on, y'all. And some of our family members, let's just be real, they don't have the answers or they don't have the emotional capacity, let's be real, to help us out or give us, the support that we need. But it's tough times, and I think it's really good for people to be informed. I watch, cop videos. I watch this. I like to see what's going on out here in the world, right? Because I think that it's really important to realize as well is that you're not the only one that's suffering. You're not the only one that's suffering, and we're all suffering in our own unique ways, And I think that's why we can be vulnerable, so we're able to connect. You feel me? And kind of like develop some type of, support system so we all can be able to provide advice, support, compassion towards each other's situations, because this could be beneficial. Everybody has something that they got going on, what they're going through. Some people out here are making silly decisions that put themselves in a situation where they're compromised because they're desperate, like they're down bad, or they're just, they're too materialistic, or they think they gotta have the top notch of everything. You feel me? They can't just kind of just be, gracious on what they have, or be resourceful to kind of just, make sure that your basic needs are met, that instead of doing all this extraordinary stuff. And you have people out here that just like the nickel and diamond and just trying to, they're trying to get by. Everybody's at where they're at. We have some people that are just wealthy and they're just kind of, they're detached. They don't know what's going on. You feel me? But that doesn't mean that they're not suffering in their own way. Don't get it twisted, But I want all of us to understand is that realizing, regardless of we're struggling or not, you still are enough. The materialized possessions, you guys haven't heard this before, it ain't going nowhere. You're not taking it with you. You feel me? Name your favorite celebrity. Dead or alive. Right? I'll name somebody. A great movie that we seen this year that was, on the charts, even with the Mario movie too, was the Michael Jackson. What's up? You feel me? Shout out Michael Jackson, the Michael Jackson movie. That was fire. You know what I mean? But we got to see the family dynamic, and I want to talk about this on another video. But we got to see everything. You know what I mean? Like, and all the hard work that he had to put in, the family, the discipline. You feel me? The resilience that he had to go through with his father. Like, we see it all. You know what I mean? But it's like on the back end, pulling it to the focal point is that, even with all the stuff that he has, the Wonderland, you feel me? All the materialized possessions, the vehicles, the animals. Did it come with him? Did it leave with him? No. So we got to take in consideration that whatever you have, you know what I mean? We got to manage. We got to maintain. We got, like I said, that's why I think it's really important for us to have consistency, discipline, some type of structure into our day, making sure we're finding time to have, self-reflection, to think about where we're going, where we're heading. You feel me? Because some of us out here are just living life's day to day, and we're just trying to survive, and we're focused on that. You feel me? But not focused on how can you improve for yourself. Because your life is not supposed to be just focused upon bills. stress from the past. This person did me wrong and I'm still hanging around this person. Like, your life's not supposed to be just consumed upon, unless you want it to be consumed upon those things. You gotta make those choices. We control these things to a certain extent. You feel me? But I think that's something that we got to be able to take in consideration more, specifically for those that come from the dysfunctional dynamics, because we're coming from real life stress, chronic stress. The arguing, the yelling, the slamming things, smashing things. You know what I mean? Arguing over silly things like a charger. Feel me? Not knowing how to effectively communicate to somebody. No respect. Talking to someone like they're a kid. Like let's get real with this stuff, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Some of us don't have fathers in the home. Some of us don't have parents, moms in the home. You feel me? And let's be real. There's a lot of people too. Like, I'm getting real with y'all, dog. This is some real spill. You feel me? We got people that are in the middle class too that have parents, right? That were born with their parents, but parents not emotionally giving their needs, so parents not around. You feel me? If we were to do a 10-question questionnaire upon simple basic questions on the relationship, like what was your favorite color, favorite food, like favorite, you feel me, your values, like, you feel me? Yo, this is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? Would they pass the test? And this is why I think that it's very important for us to get the support, get the knowledge, get the information, get the awareness, get the protection that we need, because it allows us to move more assertive in life. Because awareness is key, y'all. Awareness is key. You do not want to be walking around life not knowing what's going on. You don't want to be walking around life without no structure. You don't want to be walking around life being around the wrong people. That's not going to put you in a position, you feel me? That's not going to give you the love. That's not going to give you, you feel me? Like, and I'm trying to express to you, like, a lot of these things derive from yourself. That's why it's called personal development. One day you have to look within. You got to realize, like, what am I going to do for me? What am I going to really, you feel me? When am I going to choose myself? And I really understand this because I've been the underdog, y'all. When you're in school systems, you're in the family, you're around friends, and you're around people, you don't know your self-worth because, like I said, you've been deprived of your situation because the environment that you was under. The people that you was around. You're around people who are suffering, hurting, and they don't know how to express their emotions in healthy ways, so they compromise you. You feel me? Some of us go hard for our family. We go, we give our last, you feel me? Whatever. But then you realize your values are very different from others, and that's totally fine. But you got to really, like I said, when are you going to take the time to realize, when are you going to put yourself first? You know? Life does not wait for nobody, you feel me? Move on, and there's people out here that want to see you not do better than them. They want to kind of keep you at a cap, and you're not meant for anybody to hold you, you feel me, to hold you down. Like, no, what is this? No. You know, you have a business, your diligence to take care of yourself. You got to put yourself first, and that's your responsibility. You feel me? So I really want us to understand that when it comes to improvement, is that you have to understand that you have to put yourself first. Do what's going to be beneficial for you. And once you do that, you're going to start seeing results. You're going to start seeing improvement. You're going to start seeing results that are very different from the stagnant life that you was in, or the provision that you was under when you was under the other people that you was influenced by. That's why it's important to get connected to, mentors and, people that are trying to do things and trying to be on that type of time that you're on, because, we got to make a change, a switch up. But once again, like I said, a lot of people out here are suffering. There's a lot of things that are going on in the world right now with employment. Like, people are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. But we have to really, like I said, understand that besides all this materialized stuff, besides all the stress, besides all the pain, besides all the stuff, you know what I mean? The peace lies within. Let's spend some time to look within ourselves, look ways we're able to improve, get the support if needed, right? Get around the right folks, right? And let's kind of keep this regimen up. We got to keep this regimen up. This is a lifestyle we have to realize too. We're making a switch. This is not a one day type of, you know what I mean? Like, no, this is something that we have to really work in regards to our discipline, so we're able to accumulate that structure. And that structure develops something that's major, which is the foundation that we're going to be able to have for the rest of our life. You feel me? So when we go through all types of stress, because this is what life's about. It's about its ups and its downs. It fluctuates. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to have the skills that you need to, you know what I mean, bounce back. And once again, speak positive into your life. You know, positive affirmations. You know what I mean? Sticky notes. You know what I mean? Talking to yourself is totally normal, and research proves it as well. Like, really look into these things, y'all. You know? As a mental health counselor, like, I put myself through the work. You feel me? I made these choices. I made these sacrifices. You know what I mean? Once upon a time, I was broken. Another video, we'll talk about that. But, like, I was broken. I was in a different space. You know what I mean? My mindset was different. And how do you get out of a dark tunnel? You got to realize there's light at the end of it. You feel me? Think positive. Keep pushing. You feel me? Things are going to get better. But you got to apply yourself. You got to take action. You feel me? But you also got to have compassion to yourself. Like, treat yourself like you're your best friend. Know that you're doing the best that you can. As long as you have effort and you're showing up for yourself, that's all that matters, y'all. That's all that matters. So I'm letting you know right now, please take the time to show up for yourself. Show yourself that you care for yourself. Allow yourself to know that you are enough, and really practice this and build this rapport with yourself. Things will get better in this time. You feel me? You're not the only one that's going through it. You know what I mean? I'm going to work soon, and whatever you got going on, everything's going to work out soon. But you have to maintain a positive mindset in this challenging time and build that structure. Take it easy, stay blessed, and I'll see you on the next one.